year, we present your Washington, Idaho Rainbow Dad, Mr. Steve Martin.
He does exist. Okay, and so yes, a lot of the grandees asked me, did I memorize my speech? No, I didn't memorize No, I didn't memorize my speech. Okay, so as most of you know, this has been quite a year for me. It's been an extreme roller coaster ride with incredible highs and incredible lows. My journey began in March, really this last year, when I had the honor and privilege of being installed as worthy patron of my Eastern Star chapter with my best friend, and God, I can't believe this. I'm just getting started. Okay. So I would not have gone to the East with anybody else for the first time. They tried to get me to go through earlier than that. My first meeting in Eastern Star, after I got initiated, they started asking me to go into the East. And I told them I wasn't going to do it with anybody else than her. So, and those of you that attend Eastern Star installations, the general way that they work is, I didn't know Eastern Star was that funny. The general way that it works is the outgoing worthy matron, worthy patron come in, they do their introductions, they do their thank yous and all that, and then what happens? Eastern Star? Recess. They go to recess. I thought, cool. You know, we started going to all the installations, I thought I get to go to recess. Recess in Eastern Star is boring. So one of the newly installed worthy patrons, who will remain nameless, decided that we were going to have some fun when they went to recess at the last installation in Snohomish County. So we brought balls, we brought stuffed animals, we brought toys, and when they went to recess, we stood up and we started throwing the balls around, throwing the toys around, having fun. It was recess, for God's sakes, let's have fun. At the age of 48 years, I was told to grow up and act my age. You know what? I was acting my age and I was having fun doing it. So later in March, with the help of an incredible team, and as the chairman of the Grand Lodge Committee for Leadership Training, I orchestrated and executed the Lodge Leadership Retreat. The retreat is a weekend-long whirlwind of Masonic education for future and returning Masonic leaders and their ladies. The retreat was a huge success and everybody had a lot of fun. I've been told by many past participants, past chairmen, and committee members that it may have been one of the best events that was ever put on. Why was it such a great event? I have my thoughts, and I think the number one reason is because an event takes on the personality of the presenter. And as you know me, I like to have fun. And if I can't have fun, I'm not going to do it. So I had fun at the retreat, and everybody else had fun. It was a great time. So the roller coaster's kind of, it's been going up all year. And then I found out that my sister, older sister, was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. She lived in Alaska and she came down to Seattle to do all of her chemotherapy and everything. And it was, this part of the ride was, that part of the ride where you're constantly doing this, because it was so great to see her, but the reason was horrible. And the roller coaster headed to the bottom every time we went to the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance Center. Because that is a great place, and they do wonderful things. Oh. But it's a horrible place to go. So then we would leave there. We would leave the cancer center, and we'd get on that upswing again, and we'd go do something to have fun, just to have fun, because you got to have fun. So in June, the roller coaster ride started to go back up. We're shooting up now. We're going to Grand Assembly in Alaska. It's getting harder to see. So this was an emotional roller coaster all on its own. I had the distinct honor and pleasure to watch Miss Sorsha Hazelton I should tell she means a lot to me too. I wish she was here. Preside over a Grand Assembly with dignity, poise, strength, and most importantly, she had fun. She made it fun, so everyone around her had fun as well. Are we seeing a pattern here? I like to have fun. So it was Grand Assembly in Juneau that I got to watch not only Sorsha, but that kid right over there. I got to watch my daughter. My daughter's rainbow journey go full circle. In 1994, she was dedicated to rainbow as a 6-week-old, with Sorsha right next to her. In 2005, she was initiated as an 11-year-old, with Sorsha right next to her. And then, at this Grand Assembly, she walked in the majority service. And again, it was Sorsha right next to her. And it was all at Grand Assembly in Alaska, in Juneau every time. And you know what? Watching them walk, as emotional as that time was, and those of you that know Sorsha, you know she doesn't cry. She cried when she was walking the majority service. So walking that emotional roller coaster of his own, what they did is they had fun. Even in those sad times, they had fun. And they enjoyed it. Tears and all. Then came July, Grand Assembly in Washington. I had talked to Mrs. Brown about the day that, if Mr. Voorhees was ready to retire as photographer, I'd be interested in maybe taking over. I'd like to do that. Little did I know that Dan was just waiting for some poor sap.
Amen.
And he jumped all over it. So last year at Grand Assembly, I became the sorcerer's apprentice and learned the ropes from him. I thought, what could be better? I get to run around the floor, sometimes acting like an idiot, having fun, making people smile. Then another incredible young woman that has become a very big part of our life. Miss Susanna Maher was elected Grandworthy Advisor. I thought, wow, is her rainbow dad ever going to be a lucky man? I'm not going to lie. I secretly hoped it would be me. I'll be honest. But I thought, no way. Surely they would choose someone else, someone, shall we say, more mature. Who wants a wisecracking, somewhat snarky, sarcastic, fun-loving 48-year-old child as state rainbow dad? Let's just say that this roller coaster, for anybody that's been on California Screaming, at the very beginning where it shoots off and you go 0 to 60 in like no time flat, that's where we're at now. So during all of this, my sister continued to come down for cancer treatments. She fought hard and wanted to beat it so bad. Okay, this is where it gets really tough. She kept up her positive attitude, and we tried to have fun when she was in Seattle. We went to the zoo, we went to the Pike Place Market. We did all kinds of things that we did when we were kids growing up in Bellevue, just to have fun. Then came the dreaded H word, hospice. And Margie, I know as a hospice nurse You know what that means. And it's just a word that a family doesn't want to hear. So she flew down to my house one last time on her way to Tennessee, because that's where her boys live, and she was going to enter hospice there. She never left my house. That's for the water. So, as horrible as that time was, my whole family was there. My brothers and sisters, my mom and my dad. And we cried a lot, but we laughed a lot, and we had fun. And while all this was going on, I had leadership training meetings, I had worthy patron duties, I had lots of rainbow events to keep me busy and keep me in that positive, loving environment. There were installations, official visits, friends nights, and most importantly, through it all, right there by my side, you could always find Robin. So I thought the ride was over. I figured that had to be the end of the roller coaster. And then in December, 4 months later, my dad's health took a serious turn. He had been dealing with liver cancer for about 15 years, and he took my sister's death really hard. I think he lost a little bit of his fight. When we lost her. The cancer jumped on that weakness and spread. And I went to Montana with the thought of helping him get some strength so that we could move him to Seattle, because again, that H word, he was going to have to enter hospice. We knew that we couldn't be in Montana, and we knew that he couldn't be there alone. So we were going to get him well enough to travel to Seattle. I don't know if it was his desire to stay in Montana, if it was his body not wanting to fight anymore, or just the natural evolution of his cancer. But 6 days later, he went to join my sister. In 4 months, I had lost my sister and my dad. So what did I do? Oh, I attended a rainbow function in Helena, Montana. I went to Helena to box up baked goods for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and I had some fun. There was a lot of pain, but I had to do something. I had to do something that was fun, and rainbow was what I wanted to do. So then came GOR season, the Guar, and tonight, and the ride once again hurtled to the top. I'm so proud to be dad to each and every one of the grant officers, and I love each and every one of you. Believe this, I do not intend to be your dad, your rainbow dad for this year. I intend to be your rainbow dad forever. When it comes time, I expect invitations, or at least announcements, to high school graduations, college graduations. I expect invitations to weddings, or announcements, or invitations. I expect announcements when you start your families, and anything else that happens in your life. If there's ever anything that you need, I'm just a Facebook message, text, email, or phone call away, and I will always be there for you. So the roller coaster ride continues, but through it all, I've kept my sense of humor, I've kept my sense of fun, and I've had an incredible support from my Masonic brothers, my Eastern Star sisters and brothers, everyone in Rainbow, my family, and most importantly, my lovely wife and best friend. So you know what? I'm not going to grow up and act my age. continue to love life and have fun. If my having fun offends you, or you just don't think adults should act that way, I'm okay with that. But I don't expect you to change for me, and I'm damn sure not going to change for you. So ladies, there are things in life that you will have to do as adults that may not be pleasant. There's going to be things that you're not going to like. But if you take nothing else away from me as your journey in life continues, take this. Always be yourself. Always have fun. Never grow up. And of course, be all in. Thank you. That went a lot quicker when I read it to myself. Barbara, thank you so much for this opportunity. To, I guess, sound cliche, I can't think of anything else I would rather do than this. And like I've told you, I'm going to skip Grand Assembly so that you can't replace me. Susanna? Thank you for just being you. You are so much fun to be around, and I'm so glad we got to know you in our trips to Alaska and everything after that. It's just been incredible. You're an incredible young woman, and I love you. Margie, thanks for being the Sunny to my Cher. I think you're lucky that they chose somebody just crazy enough to do the crazy ideas that you come up with. I'll take credit for dressing as Cher, but I won't take credit for coming up with the idea. Love you. To the Grand Line, we've had some lunches together, we've done some other things together, and you girls are amazing, you're incredible. I love each and every one of you as well. And again, you better keep me informed from now until I die. So, because I'm going to die long before you guys. It's true. We're like 30 years younger now. Okay, Grand Officers. Again, I've gotten to know a lot of you a lot better this year than I've known you in the past, and you're just a great group of young women. You impress me more and more every time I see you. I love you all. To Snow King Grand Officers.
Yes.
Could you please stand up? Devaney?
Yes.
Cassie? Mackenzie? Allie? And Leah. Now, when we go around and we do the GORs, Margie and I are always asked to give responses. And I didn't think anybody ever listened. I didn't think anybody really cared about the responses until I gave an extremely lame response. And that happened to be at Snow King.
Yeah.
You girls are simply amazing. And your dresses were beautiful, your speeches were great, and in front of all of these people, I'm so sorry that I had such a lame response at your GOR. So hopefully that makes up for it a little bit. All right, give me some more. Annie, thank you for getting me into this journey to begin with. When Robin and I met and got married, I know that her dad was into all of the different Masonic bodies, all of the different animal lodges. Elks and moose and eagles and I swore, I told Robin, I said, you know what? We are never getting involved in that stuff. That's just not for me. And then Annie joined Rainbow when we moved down here, or actually up there. And then we moved down here, and I went to Bothell Assembly. And we walked into Bothell Assembly, and I'll never forget the first thing that we got when we walked in there was Katie Powell. She came running up to Annie, had no idea who we were, and just greeted her with this enthusiasm that only Katie Powell has, and hugged her and welcomed her, and we were going to go around to different assemblies to figure out which one we wanted to go to. Our journey stopped right there. So then, of course, the reason I'm also thanking Annie is because I realized that when she got elected Faith, that in order to be her rainbow dad, I had to be a Master Mason. So I joined Lodge, and I joined Lodge in I was initiated in November of 2007, and in January of 2008 I got my Master Mason degree. Took me 3 months to get all 3 degrees, because I had to be there for her. So thank you, Annie, for pushing me. And then finally, Robin, I don't think that the grand officers and other people around the jurisdiction realize how lucky we are that I have this wife. How many wives, when their husband walks up and says, hey, next Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't remember what day it is, when is Idaho's stated meetings?
Mondays.
Mondays, okay. And I said, next Monday, Idaho has a stated meeting. Why don't we go? It's only, a 6.5-hour drive. And it's just a stated meeting, So we did that. We got in the car, we drove to Idaho, we took a couple days off of work, spent the night, and then drove back the next day. I said, you know what? We missed the East Side's GOR. Let's go to Waitsburg. Again, Waitsburg, way, I'm not even sure where it is still.
You found it, so.
But again, without batting an eye, she's like, sure, what the heck, let's do it. So I thank you for all of your support and supporting my craziness and laughing at my stupid jokes and all that kind of stuff. I love you. I'm done. That's it. Thank you all.